Hey guys, welcome to TR's Mod Shop Collection, episode number 11. This is my, what I originally called my class of 87, but it's more of a Joe Satriani Strat. The original video I did with this guitar, it had the neck off my original Sybil Strat, the blue one, which was actually the very first installment I did. That guitar at the time had the Dimarzio PAF Pro in the neck, and in the bridge it had a Dimarzio Super Distortion. That combo worked really well when it had the thinner neck on it. Later on I decided to put the original neck, the neck that was on this guitar, the thin neck, back onto Sybil, which was the original guitar it came with. And so then I decided to go ahead and put this neck, which is a reversed Warmoth neck. It's the boat neck carve, so it's a full inch thick from the 1st to the 12th fret. This neck was on my Sybil guitar for quite a number of years. It's one of the first neck replacements I ever did. And so when I switched the necks on the two guitars, this neck on this body ended up sounding much warmer and much darker. The body on this is off a Squier SE. So again, it's going to be agathis like my Frankie Strat. And generally that wood tends to be a little warmer, darker sounding. And so combined with this neck, which you can see it's a very thick neck, and actually it's got also a very thick in terms of the amount of rosewood on there. Normally a rosewood fretboard is maybe half that much, and you can see it's probably a full 1/4 of an inch of rosewood on that. So the combination ended up being very dark, a very warm sounding. And so the problem I then ran into is the Dimarzio Super Distortion is a very warm, dark sounding pickup. It ended up making the combination a little muddy. I'd been thinking about looking for a Dimarzio Fred pickup, which was the first signature pickup that Joe Satriani had with Dimarzio, that he used for quite a number of years, from the late 90s all the way to about the mid 2000s. And so finally a chance came up. I found one used for a really, really great price, and so I went ahead and bought it and dropped it in this guitar. And the Fred is a much brighter sounding humbucker. Many people actually, those that have complained about it, say it's actually thin, but that's what I needed in this guitar to give some more clarity back to it. In earlier videos I said that pretty much all my Strats had Callaham saddles. That's not exactly true. My Candy Apple Red has the original fenders, and actually this guitar has GFS stainless block saddles on it. So I had a set of them around, and when I put the Fred pickup in here and greatly, again, increased the brightness, I pulled these out and put these on. They have more of a modern look, and it's supposed to be more of a modern kind of Strat. The fretboard on this guitar was very pale when I got it. I just assumed that if you were a rosewood neck, it would come in like a dark rosewood, and this one came in very pale. So I was disappointed with that, and I would always try to darken it with different things, but it would never stay permanently. And then recently I was working on a wood project and using gunstock oil, and that worked really well, I noticed, when I put it on furniture. And so I ended up taking the strings off and just putting a very, very light coat on the fretboard of this guitar, and it darkened it up quite nicely compared to how it used to look. It's still not as dark as a lot of rosewood fretboards, but originally it looked more like the Palfaro necks that were on the more recent Strats. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it did darken it up some. And so but it's not so much that it feels different. It still it doesn't feel like a finished or like a lacquered neck. It's got tall vintage frets on it, so they're not as wide as a medium jumbo, but they are about the same height as a medium jumbo. So the tuning is a little more precise as a result of that. It has relatively low action. For the electronics, when I did the original video, I had the volume knob was what allowed you to be able to toggle between full humbucking and coil split, single coil split on the pickup. So a couple of problems I ran into with that is when you have it on the volume and you pull it up, then the volume knob is much higher and I was tending to bump it with my hand. And I also wasn't able to do the mod where I have the rubber washer underneath there to stabilize it. And that also means that it's either both pickups humbucking or both pickups single coil. I now have switches, pull switches on both pickups. So I can do any combination. I could have both of them humbucking. I can have the bridge single coil and the neck humbucking, and vice versa, or I can have both single coil. So it gives you a few more different options than you would typically have. And three-way switch, very good sounding guitar. I did a demo of it a few months ago, especially with that brighter pickup. The harmonics really jump out. You know, it's very Satriani-esque where you can hit a note and then it will bloom up into a high feedback note. You know, it's very fluid. You know, again, it's a full inch thick. It's probably the thickest neck that I own. So it does fill out the hand very nicely. It's got vintage tuners. Again, sort of my custom Fender logo that I had made, where I actually have my kids' birth dates as the patent pending numbers, and original custom build instead of original contour body on headstock. So now I'll go ahead and demo this guitar and let you hear what it sounds like. And again, thank you so much for watching.